Hello everybody, welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. Double G here. This is the fourth episode in our series for the Elm Creek map. In the last episode, we were able to get sorghum harvested in field 47 just over there in the distance. And then we got that field limed and subsoiled that didn't have any rocks. And then we got lime and fertilizer in all four fields ready to plant. So we put the sorghum in the silo because of our plans to have chickens, plus the price was crap anyway. So we have wheat and sorghum, both of which are chicken food, in the silo. And I've been debating whether I want to move into chickens this episode or expand into another field, because I don't have the money to do both. The large chicken coop is $79,000, I believe, and we have 97, so that would take me down to 18,000. And also, I'd like a little more land to plant grass in to start doing silage, just to make it a little more worthwhile. When we were harvesting the sorghum in 47, I was looking at field 48 as well, which has soybeans in it, and I checked the growth state of it, and it's in the last growth stage, so in October it'll be ready to harvest. And if you look at the calendar, I'm wanting to plant barley for the chickens, which I can plant in October, and grass, which I can also plant in October. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the map. If we look at field 48, it is 49,000. That'll still leave us with, 45,000 when we get done. I think I'm going to buy this field, and then we'll progress into October. So that way 48 should be ready to harvest, and we can still plant everything that we want to plant in all 5 fields. And we can go ahead, and 48 needs lime, I believe. Yep, so we can get it limed and subsoiled to see if it has any stones in it, because I still have the stone picker rented. So 47 didn't have rocks, 48 may not. I'll incur another charge overnight, and there's no real way to know until. Let's just look at that, what the daily rental on it is, see what gamble we want to take. So, I don't even know why I'm looking at that. Go to the store, leased equipment. It won't give me the rental rates for it from here. Alright, well, I'm just going to hold on to it. And if there's no stones in 48, then it was for naught. But if there are stones in 48, it was better than renting it again. Yeah, we'll hold on to it. Something tells me as soon as I return it, we'll have stones in 48. So wouldn't be the end of the world to have stones, but I just don't want to. Alright, so we're going to rest and go into the next day, which will put us in October. So I'm hoping we'll be able to maybe make some money off the soybeans. I'm not sure what their price is like, probably not great, but it may still be worth selling them just to get more money in the bank. And then we'll see how much money we have. Maybe we can pick up a contract in the next episode to help with the chicken coop. We'll just have to see. So I think for now, let's just double check and make sure everything went to plan. 48 is ready to harvest. So we can have the worker start planting the barley in these 3 fields while we harvest 48 and get it ready to plant. and then we can put grass in those 2 fields. So we'll just jump in the John Deere. Get it turned around so that we can hook up to the seed drill. Another thing I have to be very careful of when I'm planting anything is making sure I have it set to the correct seed, because there's been more times than I can count where I've planted a field only for it to germinate in the next month, and then I realize that I did not plant what I thought I planted. So we're on wheat right now. I was going ahead and switch it to barley. We'll get up here and we'll start putting some seed in the ground. Alright. We'll unfold it, turn it on, lower it, and off we go. Yeah, there's a definite texture change behind the seed drill. I'm really digging the trees in October. All different colors, but still leaves on them. Got a little bit of a glitchy tree off to the right, but nothing we can't live with. Up. I'm sure the worker will do a much neater job than I can do. So we're going ahead and set this off. Yep. Got the worker in there. Oh, it's a lady. Nice. Alright. So we'll jump in the harvester that I've already said 2 times we were done with for the year. Good thing we weren't leasing it. We'll bring it around to this field. Come on out of the way. And now we don't have to worry about if the field owner is upset with us for parking the trailer, because that's us. So we'll just park it over here, drop it, get hooked up to the header, and start harvesting. Did notice on the map though that this field was fertilized twice, so we'll get the max yield in terms of that. Oh, well, that was a very generous alignment. Alright, unfold it, turn it on, see what kind of yield we're getting out of this field. I don't think it's as big as 47. In 47, after we did the first loop, we already had a quarter of a tank full. I don't have any concerns that we're going to need the trailer to offload this. It almost wouldn't be worth it anyway, as close as we are to the silo. And there would be no reason to hold on to this except for waiting on price. It doesn't do us any good in terms of the chickens. Once we eventually get into pigs though, they will eat anything. It's almost impossible to not have pig food. And then it's quite a production to feed the cows. So we're up to 8%. I don't think we're going to have the yield in this field that we had in 47, but we shall see. It was, if I remember correctly, 98% of the combine full in 47. But it is an entirely different crop, different fertilizer state, different yield. So we'll do a time lapse and we'll get this harvested, and then we'll see what the final number is when we get done. So we wound up with just over, well, 57% of the tank. I wouldn't have thought that this field was that much smaller than 47, but soybeans may have a different yield rate as well, so that could play part. It may also be worth more. So let's drop this guy off. Hook back up and play the old loop around the farm. We can check the price really quick though, just to see if we're going to dump it in the trailer or dump it in the silo. So soybeans, they are worth a little bit more. So Goldcrest Valley's the train. So at Feed and Grain South, they're worth $18.61, and we have 4,800 liters, and they're going to go down. And oh, we just missed the highest prices is in July. So let's hold on to these for now because they could go up another double in price. So again, we'll hold on to it unless we get desperate for money. Lots of trees. And wait for a better price. I'm really not super digging this tree being right here either. I mean, it's good for aesthetics, but it's really kind of in the way. So yeah, the other things that we've put in the silo, we've put there for a later need. This we're just waiting for a better price. It looks like our worker, yep, our worker has finished seeding that field. So we can go ahead and move him to the next field. Still with the barley, while we continue to work field 48. That looks good. I'm not even going to say we're done with this guy now, because every time I've said it, there's, well, you know what? Harvesting's good. Maybe we're done with this guy. We've already looked and seen that field 48 needs lime. So we'll get our spreader, see how much lime we have. Oop, don't want to back it into the building. And we have, oh, that will not be enough. We'll go to the store and pick some up. That way we don't get halfway through the field and then realize that we need more. So as soon as we get the lime down on the field, we'll be able to subsoil it and see if we need to run the rock picker through it. If not, we can get that returned. Took a gamble on keeping it to make sure that we had our field free of rocks. And that's something that I'm going to want to have around, buy and have around the farm in the future. Like the spreader. You never know when you're going to need it. And since it really doesn't make you any money, you just have to kind of bite the bullet and buy it, and you have it when you need it. Going 20 miles an hour, but it definitely feels kind of slow. Once we have some capital too, we'll keep these supplies at the farm where we don't have to spend so much time coming to get them. But right now we're kind of a la minute on buying what we need. So if we go into the big bags and get some lime, 2,000 liters. I don't want to buy more than I can hold, so we'll just get one. And that should be enough to get that one field done. Whoa. Well, looks like we have a bag of seed. Hopefully we'll need seed. Alright. Helps if you buy that which you need. Thought that was an awfully high price for lime. But because we're going to be seeding 5 fields today, there's a reasonably good chance we're going to need more seed anyway. So, not a complete waste. And we will refill. I like the way as you can hardly tell it, but as you refill the fertilizer spreader, it's making the tractor sit down a little bit. So that's pretty cool. Also, these big bags are dynamic. You can see them kind of shrink as you remove the commodity from the bag. It's pretty cool. Alright, let's go and lime field 48. Shouldn't take too long with the width of this spreader, 42 meters. Even with the added lime, we're still doing 20 miles an hour. Sorry, I try to swing my camera so we don't pass through trees so badly, but sometimes I miss it. Nice little back way shortcut to the back fields from the store. I'd really like to get into these fields. That would be a nice field of corn to have right now. Alright, let's see how we want to go about this. Let's try it this way. Go down the one side. See what we look like here. Oh, well, we've relimed that. Oh, we're at the most narrow as well. Let's try 30 meter right here. That's getting us done. Sometimes a super wide working width is hard to judge in a smaller field, but I ain't complaining. Just missing the edges. Typical for me. And it's just eating through it too. We may have to go get another bag. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I'll run back to the store, get a couple more bags in here, and then we'll get this finished off. Okay, that seems like a very serious consumption rate, but we'll have to go with it for now. Actually, we can drop this over here. We'll need it for fertilizer. I guess that'll work. Pick up our... Swing around the tree, pick up our subsoiler. So we can see if there's any rocks in that field. Has our worker finished in the smaller field? I'm not sure if we can see from here. Yep, he has. This guy started on the small field. Oh, trying to dodge a tree. That'll work. Get this started and we'll get back to the subsoiler. Hooked up and head back to field 48. See what we turn up over here. Oh, and of course there's no rocks. We keep the rock picker, there's no rocks. We go return to the rock picker and we'd have rocks everywhere. Turn that little bit in. Okay, well, I hate to do a ton of time lapses, but it would just be downright boring to watch me subsoil this whole field real time and listen to me ramble on. So we'll get this subsoiled and then we'll get it fertilized, and then we can look at getting grass in both of these fields. Alright, so that is everything ready to go in field 48 for grass seed. I think we can go ahead and take the rock picker back. Oh, it's already hooked up to the Massey Ferguson. So hopefully that last time lapse saved you from a bit of boredom and tedium and useless rambling, but coincidentally, for anybody that likes the boredom and the tedium, I will be starting a new live stream series here on YouTube. It's going to be a lot like the gameplay in this series. However, we'll be on the Hobo's Hollow map, I believe, is the one I've settled on. And it'll be real time. So we'll probably play at 1x, and when it's time to progress to the next day, we'll do it, whether it's, noon or 6 p.m. But it'll be live streamed, and we'll set those to a DVR so they're all available on the channel, but there'll be no time lapses, no cut screens. You'll get to see all of my idiotic mistakes. It'll be good times. Plus you can come by, have a chat, catch up, see what's going on. I really feel like this is the perfect kind of a game for a live stream, because it's slow paced enough to be able to keep up with the chat and see what's going on with everybody. Keep a lookout for that. It may actually already be in swing by the time I get this video published. So we'll return the stone picker. And there you go. Wasted money, unfortunately, but not the end of the world. We'll get back and check on the worker. I have a feeling that he's maybe halfway, not quite halfway through that big field. And I'll probably just take over to save some money on worker fees. We still have 45,808 at the moment. It's going down constantly though. Alright. Putting along. All of these tractors have decent speed. They just feel super slow when you're on the road. That's why I like the idea of having the truck with a trailer for transporting goods, because that bad boy will get up to like 80. Alright, do a bit of yard cleanup, get some tractors put away. This guy can go in his slot just here. We'll take the other John Deere. We'll back him in front of the cultivator. And then we'll check on the worker. Yeah, about a third. I think I'll take over from this guy. Turn it back on. How you gonna leave it in reverse, man? Alright. So I'm really not keen on adding an additional time lapse to this video. So I think I will finish. Good Lord. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. This, when I moved the worker to this field, I failed to change the seed. So this is all barley. What a pisser. How do I fix this? I really want grass here. Do I recultivate? Would that get rid of the barley? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure this off screen. I'm going to figure out how to get the barley up and the grass down, if that's even possible. We may have a very weird crop in this field. You know what, let's just let's finish this line, and I will have to leave the barley to grow in this half of the field. We'll make the other half of this field grass that we can mow, the other field grass that we can mow, and when I'm able to harvest the barley, I will plow it up and plant more grass. Wow. I even told you, I called it. I told you guys I would do this. Alright, why did that piece of lime not come up? Alright. Yeah, so I'll plant the other half of this field in grass and field 48 in grass off camera, and then we'll come back for a recap when we're done. So we finally got all the grass planted. I went back and forth in my head about 20 times during all of this to decide if I wanted to plow up the barley and plant grass, but I decided against it ultimately. So you can see here, there's one unplowed strip going down the middle. So I came back to the left side of this field and planted grass up to, but left a bit of a border so, you know, we don't get into the barley. I mean, it's chicken food. That's the whole point of growing the barley. The 3 fields up front may not have been enough anyway, so it's not a waste. It's not doing what I wanted to do for the grass for the silage, but we'll just have to wait until the barley's ready and harvest it, and then we'll plow it up and plant more grass. So I did have to go back to the store and, oh, let's look at the map really quick just to show you what I'm talking about. So we have barley, 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 and then where I called myself out that I wouldn't change the seed. So that half is barley, this half is grass, this is grass. So I did have to go back to the store and refill with more seed. I mean, planting 5 fields on 600 liters, even small fields, it's a pretty big ask, and we'll definitely be having to upgrade our seeder in the future because this thing takes forever. But it got the job done. That's all we can really ask for at this point. So, yeah, we got everything planted in the ground. I think that just about wraps up this episode. Next episode, we'll be looking to maybe get a contract, maybe a harvest on a winter crop, because they typically pay pretty well. Plus, there's, you know, the leeway that we can make a little more money off of. I doubt we'll make the kind of money off the leeway we did on the silage, but I'd really like to get some chickens, and at this point we're about maybe 35,000 short with nothing really to sell. So there may be a couple of contracts in our near future just to keep us moving. And I think that wraps it up for this episode. So thanks everybody for watching, and until next time, take care.